Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to part 2. We're having some technical difficulties here on the stream. That's all right. No big deal. We're back in the game, and we got to go to Grand Street. Who's ready for round 2? Let me try to adjust. Now, there has been a little bit of a rumor going around. I cannot confirm or deny these rumors. But here it is. The rumor is that part 2 of the live stream tends to give off a bigger dopamine blast than part 1. It's not confirmed. This is just what I'm hearing. So we'll get started. We are here at the Flatiron District. You're looking at the gorgeous Empire State Building. Let me clip my microphone on. Hold on. All right, we'll just have to make do here. Madison 32, what's up? The wind is starting to pick up, so maybe that'll cool things off just a tad bit in the city, which will be good. Rockstar. This is iPhone 15 will fix these issues. I think it's more of a software thing. And it's strange because around the same time every year, we have a little bit of a buggy software here with Prism. Schuler's here, long time no see. I'm so glad you're here, man. It's been a long time since I've seen you in the chat. Always a pleasure to have you here. It's so funny when I see really old familiar faces in the chat that we haven't seen in such a long time. It's so cool. It's kind of like a deja vu experience. It brings me back to some of the original streams that we've done here. Richard Vogel, good to see you. Dallas, Colton Manning says, could there be an influx of students in this area? Yeah, there should be. Now, as we head towards NYU, you'll probably see a lot of college students. Classes back in session, pretty much the entire CUNY system, the SUNY system, and really all the private schools should be back by now. So everybody is back. The city is coming alive again, and hopefully that means business will pick up. So we'll see. James B. This is total newbie here. I like it. Well, we're happy you're here. Happy you're here. Yeah, it's a fun place to be. Tour different parts of the city. Have good conversations about the financial markets. Occasionally we'll tour, a property or two that I'm listing. It's a good time. It's good fun. Greatest city on earth, and the greatest people on earth. Hey, ICU Investigations here says, I remember the fire on 23rd and Broadway. 12 fire member, I don't know what you mean. There was a fire on 23rd and Broadway? When was that? I don't remember that. I feel like I would have remembered that if it was 23rd and Broadway. That's right outside the Flatiron. All right, we're gonna come up on 14th Street, Union Square Park. Yeah, Blues Writer, no way. Blues Writer says, Tom's not about to let a torn Achilles tendon interrupt the stream. Is that the injury that gentleman suffered last night on the New York Jets? Now, there was a New York Jets game last night, and I think the quarterback suffered, a major injury. What was up with that? Do we have any football fans in the chat that could chime in on that? Aaron Rodgers. Joel PM says that fire was in 1966. I doubt you remember. That's probably why. I was born a little bit after 1966, just a tad bit. Ooh, torn Achilles. Oh my God. That must be painful as all hell too, right? Oh my God, I didn't know that. I think that's one of the most painful injuries you could have. That's so unfortunate. Whoa, he's done for the year. Wow, on day one. My God. I can only imagine how that must be like on a mental toll. You know, you train the whole preseason, the whole off season. Almost the first play of the game. My God, that must be crushing. Now, from a financial standpoint, I wonder what's in his contract. I don't know, because I haven't obviously been well read up on football, but I'm assuming have a person to have the caliber of Aaron Rodgers. He must get paid out for the entire season, right? Like a guarantee, I think it's called in the contract. TK Porsche's torn Achilles is perhaps the hardest injury to recover fully from. It often ends careers. Wow. Deborah says he will get paid anyway. I know. Raleigh says you can see the tendon coiling up. It looks so painful. Yeah, so we were playing, I'm trying to think of the college. I think it's called Western Connecticut. Western Connecticut State, I believe, was the college name. And one of the center midfielders there was going up for a 50-50 ball with our center midfielder. And you could hear like this really like very, very strange pop. And the kid was rolling on the ground. I mean, it must have been like 20 minutes. And yeah, he tore his Achilles, and it literally coils up. Oh my God. Whew, that is rough. Man. I mean, for playing football as long as he has, right? I mean, he must have been playing for over, 15 years? Imagine the wear and tear on your body playing in the NFL for that long. I mean, I'm surprised something else didn't happen. But that sucks. It's horrible. Okay, we have now reached Union Square. We only have a few more blocks to go until we've reached our destination. Rockstar says, yeah, his career is probably done. I mean, maybe it's a blessing and a curse, right? I'm assuming he's, incredibly, incredibly wealthy beyond his means. But then again, if you ever have the opportunity to play at that level as successfully he has been, it probably sort of becomes more of like a passion than anything, right? At this point, it's probably not even about the money for him. At this point, he probably just does it because he loves it. Ooh, Corbin says you were watching the game when Kobe Bryant popped his back in the day. Oof. Yeah, definitely a big yikes. Oh, speaking of EVs, look at this. This is the newest EV in the NYPD's fleet. This is the Ford Mustang Mach-E, I believe. This thing looks really cool. In Dubai and Abu Dhabi, I hear they have Tesla police cars. That's an awesome looking car, I'm not gonna lie. I actually really like the look of that. It's much better than this. Would you guys agree? All right. Number 1. Or number 2. Let us know in the chat. What would you rather be driving around on the beat as a cop? Number 1 looks like you're going to stop the crime in the city. Number 2 looks like you're going to commit the crime in the city. All right, anyway, let's continue on down here. This is by the Whole Foods. Obviously, our good friend Jeff Bezos now owns Whole Foods. And we should be in Soho in no time here. Little Italy pizza to the right. It's actually okay. Ooh, Daryl says artificial turf ends NFL careers. Well, I remember in the MLS, which is Major League Soccer, when a lot of good players started to come to the United States, they were almost in shock that we even played on artificial turf. They're like, what the heck is this, right? Because in England, you know, in the Premier League and all that, in Europe, they don't play on turf. They play on pristinely manicured grass. And even the thought of playing on artificial turf is just like a cartoon for them. And I kind of agree. Because if the turf is not wet and you're slide tackling somebody or you fall, you are going to get the worst turf burn ever. And your cleats could get stuck in the turf and that could be prone for injury. I wonder how that's going to work with Leo Messi's deal. I would be absolutely shocked if Leo Messi agreed to play on turf. Now, I'm not sure how many stadiums across the MLS have turf. I'm not too sure. But I would be very, very shocked if Messi would agree to play on turf. Let's just say that. Hey, photos from around New York. What's up? Thanks for joining us on this part 2 of the live stream. We are headed back to Soho. Yeah, Deborah's like, Messi's definitely not playing on turf. Someone says nothing's worse than the Alex Smith injury. What is that? I know. Dan's saying that's true too. Our soccer in America. Yeah, Europeans just don't really take it seriously. I think it's getting better though. To kind of look on the bright side of things, it is getting better, particularly with all these players coming. I mean, just look at the Messi effect. Before Leo Messi signed to Inter Miami, and we were talking about this from a business standpoint, I think David Beckham will probably go down in history as the single most business savvy sports owner in history. Because if you remember in 2008, when David Beckham came to the MLS to play for the LA Galaxy, in his contract there was a clause that when he retired he had the option of purchasing and starting up a new MLS team. And he executed that clause in the contract and he created Inter Miami. And almost immediately they brought on Leo Messi, and I can almost guarantee that Inter Miami is going to be a multi-billion-dollar soccer club. It's going to be worth multiple billions of dollars. It just is. I mean, the Messi effect is just way too big. If you think about before Messi signed on with Inter Miami, you could get tickets for like $15, $35. I mean, you're looking at like $250 tickets now, sometimes even more, depending on if you want to sit in a really good spot or something like that. You're looking like $500 a ticket. That is the Messi effect. We are now on the campus of New York University, and we are coming up on Washington Square Park, which will be off to the right. New York University owns some of the most real estate in the entire New York City, and they continue to accumulate more and more every year. Chances are, if you're walking around near 8th Street, near NYU, most of the buildings are probably owned by New York University. Wow, Blues Writer says Joe Burrow is making $275 million over 5 years. Not a bad gig. Not a bad gig at all. Now, I like that guy a lot. I don't know anything about football, but he's the one really young guy, right? Young kid. He went to the Super Bowl, I think, 2 years ago. I don't know. I think he was at one point an underdog. I don't think... he was ever made out to be one of the best quarterbacks. And again, this is coming from somebody who knows nothing about football, but I tend to root for those people, the underdogs, kind of, the grinders. They just keep at it. Those are the people that I really, really like to see win, because those are the individuals who persevere through the most adversity, right? Oh, the Cincinnati Bengals he played for, yes. Hey, what is up, Cherry Grooves? Tom, do you know Clash with BOA? I don't. I do not. What is that? But Cherry Groove, always so good to see you. Thank you for popping in. New York City Cherry Groove is one of our first moderators on the channel in history. Fantastic moderator, great guy. Always love seeing you in the chat. And hopefully you had a good summer. It's after Labor Day now, so everybody's back in the city. Hopefully you had some time to head out to the island, Jones Beach, Tobay, maybe even further out east to the Hamptons. Very quiet, very beautiful in this area. The park looks pretty busy. We just don't have time to go in there tonight. Someone says salty landing for tomorrow for the CPI. We'll see. I think shelter costs are going to come down. We talked about that in part 1 of the stream tonight. I think you're going to see energy prices increase again. Steve CR says, I love college football, way more energetic. I tend to agree about all college sports. I'm going to say something that is very controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think the NBA is so boring. I don't understand how anybody could possibly sit through an entire NBA game. It is so boring. And the reason why it's so boring is because the players are so good. When the players are too good, it's like, oh, Steph Curry goes down the court. Let me guess, he's going to make another three-pointer. Yep. Oh my God, Steph Curry has the ball again. Oh, wait. I know what's going to happen. Don't tell me he's going to make another three-pointer. Yep. Oh, LeBron James has the ball. Let me guess. He's going to blow through everybody and dunk over the tallest player on the team. Yeah, that's going to happen too, and that's what happened. But at least in the NCAA, it's just, I mean, I'm not saying that the players are bad, but it's a more even playing field, and I feel like they try harder. I feel like the people that are playing in the NBA, they're so good, they make it look effortless, and it's like they're not trying. They don't hustle, during March Madness. I mean, it's crazy. You have buzzer beaters, it's just wild. The fans are crazy because they're college students. In the NBA, it's not the same. It's not the same. Thoughts there? Is that a hot take? Or would we agree with that? To me, it's just so boring. My God. Wow, RB says NBA viewership has decreased and believed too much politics is the reason. Wow, politics? Really? Hey, Daniel G, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Joel PM says they should let MLB juice again. ETC is a terrible take. Hey, I'm not a big sports guy, but every time I watch the NBA, that's sort of how I feel. Michelle Henry says, I can't stand to watch the NBA. I'd rather watch college. Yeah, and in college basketball, there's always this one kid that just made the team, right? He was a walk. Hold on, let me just cross. I'm trying to figure out where I need to go because I got to go to one of the listings. There's always this one guy that just barely made the team, and then he starts one game and he shoots lights out, and then he's the next big thing. I like those scenarios, right? LeBron James is always going to be the best. He's always going to score the most points. He's always going to destroy everybody. There's no exciting it factor there. Someone says PGA golf fan. I'm into golf. I'm slowly getting into it. Now, there was a major sporting event here in New York, the US Open, for all of our tennis fans there. We'll cross here to avoid all the construction. And you're going to have beautiful views of the one and only World Trade Center. Jafet Perez, do I watch baseball? Very rarely. If I'm going to watch baseball, I'll watch it in person. And I haven't been to a baseball game in many, many years. Let's just say that. Many years. I'd like to see a Yankee game in person. I think that's always fun. Now, I've heard that they're trying to shorten baseball games because viewership in the MLB is cratering, apparently. And they need to make money, right, for advertising. So I believe they're thinking of either shortening the games or making a clock so the pitchers have to throw and they can't stall around. And I really think social media has changed that. Think about all of the content that most people consume nowadays. It's all 30 seconds or less. Very, very seldom do people consume, long form content unless it's a live stream, or unless you're watching someone like Walks in Wall Street, or you're watching a podcast. But very, very seldom do people like to watch long form things. They like the 30-second clips and that's it. With baseball, it's too much waiting around. There's not a lot of action. So it's kind of crazy how those trends are changing the way games are played, which is wild. Hey Jules, hey Tom, big golf fan here. You know what? I know you are a big golfer. Golf Endeavor, I chat with here and there. He's given me some pointers on golf. I'm getting better. I just got to get back to Miami to play a little bit more, but okay, Prince Street. Home to the Prince Street Pizza on the left. Whew, almost there, guys. Ooh, this makes me a little bit nervous. This is the second tent we saw tonight on the stream. I never see tents in New York City. That's getting me a little bit on edge. Now, as we make our way towards Soho, you'll start to see a lot of these beautiful cast iron facades. When these see us as same, yeah, I mean, you know, if you think about cities like San Francisco, you have those big tent cities, but we never have that in New York. Maybe it's just a fluke, but I don't know. I never, ever see tents in New York City. We saw 2 tonight. Hopefully that doesn't spread like wildfire. Spring Street, beautiful view of One World Trade Center. I know, sunshine after rain says I need a drink of water. It's been a long day for me. We're almost to our destination though. And I'm carrying a lot of stuff tonight. So if I seem like I'm more tired than usual for part 2, it's just because I'm carrying so much like heavy stuff. Hey, hang with Mark Mom, what's up? Says I don't see tents where I am in Disney or near Orlando, Florida. Yeah, I was reading an interesting article in Barron's today, and it was talking about the average cost to park a car in New York City. Does anybody want to take a guess? Monthly, so we're talking about monthly. If you want to go to a parking garage and, you know, strike a deal with them and say, you know what, I want to park my car here for a month. Do you know how much on average that's going to cost in the city of New York? The reason why there was an article is it just hit an all-time record high, and we are the #1 most expensive city in the United States for parking. Michael Joseph said $600, Jeff says $950, AUS Fly Girl. $2,000 a month, Troy Atman. Not 2,000. Maybe if you have like a very expensive car, like a Ferrari, and you need your personal space. Well, it's $444 a month. That's still crazy. So here's what that means. If you have just a regular car and you want to pay to park it in a New York City parking garage, on average, you can expect to pay $444 a month just to park the car. We are now the first, I would say the number one most expensive city for parking in the United States. The second most expensive is San Francisco, which I believe is $398 a month for parking. Speaking of parking, you can go right here. Cherry Groove, what is that? I'm not sure I understand the question or the comment. Okay, guys, friends, ladies, gentlemen, we have now reached Grand Street. You have this gorgeous view of the One World Trade Center. NYC Cherry Grooves, Tom, we have a new viewer, Bao, on the channel. Would you shout him out without mentioning my name? Ah, got it. Okay. Got it. I don't know. I guess I don't understand. Maybe I'm just too tired tonight. I don't know what you mean. But this is 74 Grand Street, and I need to put up a sign here in a moment. So I'll have to put you guys down. So right on the corner here is such a unique building. It's 74 Grand Street. It is a total gut renovation, but the outside on the cast iron facade is a total restoration. It's a 32-ton cast iron facade here. It's on the corner of Wooster Street and Grand. I'll cross the street so you can see just what the facade looks like. Looks pretty cool. Look at that. So you have all of these full floor apartments here. And if you want to stop by tomorrow, 74 Grand Street, I will be showing one of our new listings. Unit number 3. Unit number 2 is now rented. I believe we just rented that for about $20,000 a month. And unit number 3 is on the market for $24,000, which is actually a pretty good price. Let me figure out how I'm going to do this here. I think step 1 is not to get hit by the car. Step 2 is to put down the phone. And step 3 is I have to hang the sign right here. So give me 2 moments. I think it looks good. 74. I just have to iron out the air bubbles. But I think it looks good. Not bad. All right, be right back.
I'm with Ajiro. Ajiro, say hi to Mama. Hi, Mama.
All right, 10-4. We are good to go. Looks pretty good. You can scan the QR code if you want to learn a little bit more, but I will be here tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's staged pretty well, and there'll be a property tour up pretty soon on the channel. But this is an amazing, amazing building. I would take you guys in here, but I don't know the password to the Wi-Fi, and the internet's probably going to crash out a little bit. But speaking of Fashion Week, it looks like there's some sort of New York City Fashion Week event right here, which is kind of cool. So yeah, if you want to check it out, I'll be here tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Come by. So a little bit of a crazy stream, but I had to do that. It's been a long day. I forgot to put up the sign earlier. Rockstar. So I don't think that's a nightclub. A lot of times during Fashion Week, what'll happen is all around Soho. I'll sort of explain to you what I mean. I apologize, the stream is super unorganized tonight. We'll try to get back on track. But a lot of times what'll happen in and around New York City Fashion Week is all of these really unique and amazing Soho lofts. They have such big, expansive floor plans here, and the ceiling heights are huge. You could have 18-foot ceiling heights. It usually varies between 10 to 18 feet for the ceiling height. So it makes fantastic space, not only for the runways, for the fashion shows, but for the after parties. So I believe right next door, they're probably hosting some sort of an event. I do not think it's actually, I know for a fact it's not a nightclub, but yeah, it's such a unique neighborhood. It's so cool, and I think this will rent pretty fast. I'll give you just one more shot of the facade. Yet again, it is a 32-ton cast iron facade. The inside is completely gut renovated. The detail is just unbelievable in the unit, and we should have a full property tour up here very soon on the channel. It's just every time I went to film it this week, I've had a little bit of a fire drill and had to run. But yeah, I mean, thank you guys for bearing with me. And, you know, accompanying me to work, so to speak. Just put that in the wrist. Another thing I love about Soho are these streets. Now pay attention to the streets here. These are the original Belgian block. Very unique, really beautiful. Hey, Theo, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, if anybody is ever, you know, in and around the city, you know, even if some of the listings that I do are, you know, at a budget or whatnot, you just want to check them out and just say hi and say what's up. Let's do it. We actually had a few viewers come by our open house at the Conover. And I love that. I love, meeting people, especially you guys in the chat, hanging out. It's awesome. Being able to meet the team in person, that's what it's all about. All right, we'll make a right on Canal Street, and this is going to take us all the way back to the 1 train, and that is where I have to get on to head back up home for the night. Jay says, do many celebs stay in Soho? I think so, Jay, but to be honest, I'm not like a huge celebrity person. And what I mean by that is I don't really stay up to date on all that stuff. But I will say this, Soho is very fashionable among many designers, musical artists, performers, entertainers, and just creatives in general. That's what really draws a lot of people to Soho, New York, is just the creative energy, right? I mean, it's almost 11 o'clock at night, maybe even past 11 o'clock in New York on a Tuesday, and look what's going on, right? You're not going to have this really anywhere else in the world. I mean, the best people in fashion and in design are right here in Soho, particularly this week, because it is New York City Fashion Week. And I think with that, my friends, we will end the stream, because it's getting late. It's part 2, and I got to get the train. So once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Walks on Wall Street. I appreciate each and every one of you. We have a lot of new people here, and we are growing the stream tremendously. So I want to say thank you for joining us each and every night. It's a blast, and I love to do it. So if you enjoyed the live stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new, and if you want to see any of the property tours of our exclusive listings here at the Kirsten Jordan team, you can type !Broome, B-R-O-O-M-E, in the chat, and that should drop the playlist to all of our listings. So everybody, we will be back live tomorrow at 8:30, and we will be covering an in-depth dive on the CPI report, or the inflation report. So Lance, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Brick Stonewall, Joel PM, Alice Woodward, Hal T, all of our great moderators, NYC Cherry Groove, Dale, Sunshine After Rain, Hang with Mark Mom, Limitless NYC, I appreciate it. Blues Writer, thank you so much for joining. Maria S, Richard Vogel, Michelle Henry. There's always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and have a fantastic Wednesday. Hawaii as well. Thank you all for joining.